Welcome back. It's time to head out to Hammond Stadium to get your walk on for a great cause, really a life-saving cause. Scope for Hope is a 5K run and 2-mile walk to raise awareness for colon cancer. Joining me now is Dr. Jeanette Gaw and colon cancer survivor Vera Owens with the details this morning. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
So this is the 4th year that you guys have been doing this.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We know already that you've already been saving lives. Let's go ahead and invite people out to this run and walk and tell people why you're doing this. Well, Vera, and I'll let you start because this is kind of your brainchild.
Well, we're doing it because I had colon cancer 2009, and my mother died with it, and I decided that I wanted to help someone else.
It took you a little while to do that, though.
Well, it took me about a year because I was kind of like in denial.
Yeah.
I was in the closet, didn't want to bring it out.
Because let's face it, colon cancer is one of those cancers that people, there's a stigma with it, that people are a little embarrassed to talk about it.
And you don't want to talk about it, so you try and keep it within. So one day I just decided that I'm going to let everybody know about it. And that's when I decided that I wanted to have a race to help people that did not have insurance. So I saw Dr. Gaw, and I said, what about a race? And she says, okay, I'm all for it. And so that's when it started, you know. And
I love it that some people would just say, okay, I'm ready to tell people about it. But not only were you telling people about it, you started this whole event.
Yes.
And really, it's to raise awareness because this is a preventable cancer.
It is.
You don't hear that very often.
The crazy thing is that it's the second cancer killer in the country, and yet it's preventable. But people don't want to. Either they don't want to get colonoscopies because it's kind of embarrassing. At least they have this perceived notion that it's kind of, you know, embarrassing, but really it isn't. It's preventable. I mean, people take vitamins, they run, they do all these kinds of stuff for their health, but they don't get colonoscopies, you know, and that's the primary thing that can help prevent colon cancer.
So what do we say? Here you have a stage here. When do you want people to get colonoscopies?
So the guidelines is that people who turn 50 need colonoscopies.
And that's somebody without
any family history or without any symptoms. But people with family history, or if you have any symptoms that are worrisome, then get a colonoscopy earlier.
Okay. So explain the event. Invite everybody out because it's not this weekend, it's next weekend.
Yes.
And what are you trying to do here? What do you want people to know and to understand?
So it's going to be a 5K race. The roads are closed. It's safe. It's fast. People who want to get a PR or a personal best, it's a fast course. People who can't run, they can walk. There's a 2-mile walk, and there's also a kids run.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's a good family event. People come out.
Can you just show up that day, or do you need to? Do people need to register beforehand, or can they just show up and walk that day?
If you register beforehand, it's $25. It's under 21stcenturycare.org. If you show up that day, you can register. It is a little bit more expensive. It's $35 the day of the race.
And there's going to be some other fun things happening out there. There's going to be the walk and the race, and there's going to be food out there.
Plenty of food, and the calendar girl's going to be there. And we just want everybody to know that all the money raised is going to stay in Florida.
So it stays local.
Yeah,
Why do you think that's important? Why does that, you know, encourage you as a doctor to have it stay here local?
Well, a lot of the times, some of the races, they say it's for such and such a cause, but most of it, or not most, but a lot of it goes to some big research, or, you know, 25% goes out elsewhere. But in this case, we know exactly where the money goes. It goes to colonoscopies, and also to help people with colon cancer once they you know, they have a big financial burden with their deductibles or medical bills, and the money from this will also help them with their gas bills, their grocery bills, and so on and so forth.
So if someone is watching this morning and thinking, you know what, I may need to get a colonoscopy, I mean, if they don't have insurance, I mean, explain how that process works, how you guys are able to help, and essentially what this race and walk is gearing towards.
Well, they can go under 21stcenturycare.org again and help apply for funds. I'm not sure if they need a doctor to refer them, or they can just go on there to apply for it.
Well, explain how it's, you know, again, I think it's so key that this is, again, the second leading, you know, cancer killer, but it's preventable. So how is this preventable? Why is it so important that people get these done?
Sure. So most of the cancers come from polyps. Or 90% of colon cancer come from polyps. Polyps are the things that can grow up to become cancer. So if you get a colonoscopy, take the polyps out, then 90% of the colon cancers are prevented. The other important thing is that if we do find a cancer and you find it early, it's very curable.
Mm-hmm. And that was in your case, right?
That was in my case, yes. They found mine early, and I was supposed to be in the hospital 7 days. I was only in there 2.5 days.
Wow.
And I was fine. Started back running and everything.
As you sit back and kind of look at how things progressed, and
yes,
you know, the fact that you are a cancer survivor,
yes,
you know, what is your thought process these days, and what do you want people to know?
Well, I just want people to know that it's not so bad, you know, once you get it. But once the doctor tell you that you have it, you know, you're in shock. And I will never forget when my doctor told me after the colonoscopy, he says, we find a polyp, but then we find cancer. You have a tumor on your colon. And I'm like, wow, you know, I just lost it right there. And so he put his arm on my shoulder and he says, you're going to be fine. And I guess by him saying that to me kind of made me feel good. But then when I walk out and saw my husband, I'm like, oh my God, you know, it was like embarrassing that I had this cancer. And a lot of people do feel embarrassed. And I understand, because I went that way myself. I was kind of like, you know, I don't want nobody to know, you know. And now I'm trying to bring out to people that don't be ashamed.
Well, and look at you. You're on TV telling people your story, which I think is so awesome, because, again, it's about saving people's lives. And I think that's what you're able to do this morning, certainly with this race and event. So, again, sign up before. You get a little bit of a discount. You can show up the day of. So congratulations again on being a cancer survivor. Thank you for all you're doing.
Thank you.
And, Doctor, thank you for what you're doing as well. I know you've invested a lot of time in this as well. So
thank you very much.
Thank you. We look forward to having you guys back. Good luck with your event.
Thank you.
All right, we'll send it over to Steph.